Yo, what's good everyone? I haven't been this excited to release a video in a very long time. If you're a regular viewer of the channel, you know how much I love Longshot. I'm always talking about how this guy is a top 3 mystic for Battlegrounds, how sneaky this guy is, how many matchups he can do that you would never expect him to be able to do in the first place. I've wanted to remake my Longshot showcase for a very long time, and taking him to rank 4 just gives me the perfect excuse to do it. This showcase is mainly going to be Battlegrounds fights. Of course, I am a Battlegrounds addict. Battlegrounds is all I care about, and it's where Longshot is best. But there is some story content sprinkled in there and some fully boosted gameplay at the end. So jumping into the battleground fights now, we have plenty of them. First one against this deathless Thanos. I already showcased how Longshot is clearly the best counter to this guy when I nuked a rank 4 deathless Thanos with a 6-star Longshot. I'll put the link to that video in the description if you haven't seen it. So you can only imagine how this fight goes with Longshot having the rank advantage. We don't even need to bother going for a special 2. We just spam special 1s and each special 1 takes him down 25% health. So it only takes 4 special 1s. That's crazy. Thanos' protection is designed in a way where it's supposed to stop him being nuked on defense. There's not many champions that can take a deathless Thanos in under 60 seconds. But Longshot out here doing it in 45. That's crazy. And the next fight is even crazier. So this is a rank 3 Maestro. One of the biggest health pools in the game. A lot of people still don't even know this fight is possible because Maestro is Incinerate immune, so of course you can't use Longshot special 2. But so many people underrate the power of Longshot special 1. You see in there, the damage of the special 1 is crazy. It's just as good as the special 2. You can see Maestro going unstoppable there. Ignore that, that's just part of the node, and the node also gives us a way to counter unstoppable, so you can just ignore all the unstoppable shenanigans and forget it's there. But 34-second rank 3 Maestro fight, and he's Incinerate immune. That's crazy. And now we're going to be fighting this rank 3 Enchantress. She's going to miss me twice because it's whole Enchantress, and why not, I guess. But even with her missing me twice, we still get this fight down so fast. We only have to bait out one special 1. Most of the fights you're going to see in this video are against champions that don't even gain any buffs. Longshot's damage is still great as long as you know how to use him, but most people think that Longshot is a very simple champion. Most people think he's just parry heavy special 2, but no, Longshot has many tips and tricks to him. You need to know how his good karma works as well as his bad karma, and I'm going to explain how all this works after I explain this Domino fight, because he can fight Domino and finish 100% health. He is the best non-tech Domino counter in the game, better than Kushala for sure. He can even dex when he's unlucky, which he's the only champion in the game who can do that, I believe. He also doesn't take critical failure damage, and the reason all this works is he has 300% ability accuracy. Most people will read this in his abilities and won't think it's anything. Most people really underestimate how much utility this holds. For one, obviously, it lets him dex whilst being unlucky, and it lets him fight Domino without taking critical failure damage. But you cannot parry. If you parry or block, you will take some crit fail. I guess parrying doesn't count as Longshot's own abilities because it's a mastery, so it doesn't gain the increased ability accuracy. But as long as you don't block or parry and you know the sidestep trick against Domino where you just dex her medium and retaliate with a medium or light, he's a great Domino counter, and you actually want to dex those mediums to build up your good karma anyway, so it's not like it's a bad thing that you can't parry in the Domino matchup. He's also a great counter for Killmonger. Obviously he doesn't have access to armor break, but his basic attacks don't do much damage, so you're not going to take much reverberation. and most of his damage is damage over time. This is going to get past Killmonger's critical resistance, so Killmonger is not going to be very tanky against Longshot. He's also a great counter to Red Skull. Most people think this matchup doesn't work because of course Red Skull is nullify immune, so we can't use the special 2, but again, Longshot special 1 coming in clutch. The special 1 method with Longshot is so underrated. Honestly, I use his special 1 a lot more than I use his special 2, and I think once people realise that the special 1 does a lot of damage as well, more people will see how valuable and how versatile Longshot is. Now, he can actually parry Red Skull 100% of the time, because the way Red Skull's stun immunity works is he lowers your stun ability accuracy by 10% for each armor on him. So when he has 10 armor ups, your stun ability accuracy is reduced by 100%. But again, Longshot has that 300% ability accuracy, so he's still going to have a 200% chance to be able to stun Red Skull. So all of Longshot's parries, all of his stuns, they're going to land every time. You see what I mean when I say that line in Longshot's abilities where it says he has 300% ability accuracy? It's so underrated. It brings so much utility to the table that people just overlook or never realized before. So I'll share some insight into Longshot now. A lot of people still think he's a simple parry heavy champion, but a lot of people don't realize you can get a lot more damage out of Longshot if you know how to manage his good karma as well as his bad karma. I won't explain how his bad karma works, most people know that. But his good karma, a lot of people still don't know how that works. You gain good karma when you're charging your heavy attack, you'll gain 1 good karma when you dex, and there's a chance you'll gain good karma from blocking. When you gain 5 good karma, this will place you into Pure of Heart, and Pure of Heart is where you want to be. You want to activate Pure of Heart as early in the match as possible. Being in Pure of Heart is what makes your special 1 deal massive bleed damage. But not only that, you'll notice when you reach 5 Pure of Heart, there's a timer. When that timer expires, all those good karma you have will be transferred into bad karma on your opponent. And now you can see how this helps your damage, because when the bad karma gets transferred, if it's transferred onto your opponent whilst the incinerate is active from the special 2, all those good karmas will be turned into incinerates. So if you have 5 good karma active, you will place an additional 5 incinerates on your opponent. If the incinerate isn't active though, you'll simply place 5 bad karma on your opponent, which will mean you're fully ramped up for your next special 2. Not only that, using your special 1 in Pure of Heart will also transfer good karma on yourself into bad karma onto your opponent. So that's even more incinerate damage on the special 1. So the main trick with Longshot, the main secret, is just activate Pure of Heart as soon as you can in the matchup. I think you can all expect to see rank 3 Longshots, rank 4 Longshots becoming a lot more common. The reason there wasn't many out there before is because he was a pretty rare champion. Previously, he was only in the Omega Day sales event, and everyone was gassing up Omega Red. Everyone was saying Omega Red was the best champion in that pool. But they were wrong. No one talks about Omega Red anymore. Most people who got Omega Red on that event, they took him to SIG 200 and never touched him again. But Longshot, he's still putting in work in Battlegrounds. He's still putting in work everywhere in game. And I'm not trying to hate on Omega Red, but Longshot is just clearly better. And Kabam themselves know this, bro. They didn't bring back Omega Red. They didn't bring back Quicksilver for the Valentine's Day sale. They only brought back Longshot because they know how goated he is. They've seen how much work Longshot has put in for me in Battlegrounds, and they want to give the rest of the people a chance to get this OP champion. Longshot's still underrated. Most people know he's a good champion, but people don't realize how great he is until he is recognized as a top 3 Mystic champion for Battlegrounds, at least by the masses. He's still underrated in my opinion. I do think he's better than Kushala for Battlegrounds, and I know a lot of people are going to come at me for that. A lot of people are going to say that's a wild statement, but you can fight me on it. I think Longshot's better than Kushala for Battlegrounds. Easily top 3 Mystic. But moving away from Battlegrounds, we have some story content fights now. And this is a Power Shield fight. Longshot is probably the best champion in the entire game for Power Shield. His incinerates just go ridiculously crazy. Aegon has some buffs here to take advantage of as well. And that is a 9-second fight, goddamn. But even against champions without buffs, he's still probably the best champion in the game for Power Shield. If you remember a couple seasons back in Battlegrounds, the node was Power Shield. Longshot was so good for it. Easily top 3 attacker for this meta. Most people were saying Kushala, Kate Bishop, Deadpool X-Force were top 3. Nah, Longshot was finishing fights in 20 seconds. Just as fast, if not faster. And he was just as versatile. But it makes sense people weren't talking about Longshot as much. Most people didn't want to rank up the 6-star with the 7-star version being out there. And most people just didn't have the 7-star version because it was really rare. So I get why people weren't talking about him as much as the other 3. But he was for sure a top 3 attacker for that meta. Now we have one last Power Shield fight. And it's against this Squirrel Girl. But this path is Incinerate immune. They know how OP Longshot is for Power Shield. They try to nerf him. They try to stop us from using him. But little do they know, like most people underestimate the power of Longshot's Special 1. So did Kabam, because the Special 1 is just as good as the Special 2. So we don't care about no Incinerate immunity. That's the secret with Longshot though, man. Once you realize how powerful his Special 1 is, and when you start to utilize it properly in combination with the Special 2, your Longshot will start cooking so much harder. His damage will get so much better. Now we have this random Hulkling fight, 600k, no specific nodes, but he has a shit ton of buffs, and I don't really have another buff heavy matchup in this video, so I felt like I had to get this in there. This is what Longshot is known for. He's known for melting and controlling cosmic champions. He has some of the very best buff control in the entire game. Once you drop that Special 2, you're going to nullify every single buff of your opponent, and they're not going to be able to gain any more buffs until that Incinerate expires, and you are easily able to throw another Special 2 to refresh the Incinerate before it does actually expire. So basically, once you land your first Special 2 with Longshot, it's so easy to keep that Incinerate active for the entire match and stop your opponent from gaining any buff whatsoever, which is a crazy piece of utility. And now we're moving on to the fully boosted gameplay. We've got synergies and suicides, just pushing Longshot to the absolute limits. And we're going to be doing some Grandmaster Gauntlet fights here. Of course, this Doom here is the Glancing Doom. Unless you're an extra large champion, all of your attacks apart from your heavy and special attacks are going to get glanced, but Longshot doesn't care about none of that. Heavy attacks and special attacks are all you need. That was 700k in like 27 seconds. Yes, we're a rank 4 7-star that's fully boosted and fully synergized, but that's still some goddamn crazy champions. Not many champions even at rank 4 could do that. Of course, this little segment of the video is not at all realistic. It's just for fun. It's just to see the crazy damage. But one thing I do need to talk about is Longshot's signature ability. A lot of people keep asking me if Longshot needs to be awakened. For offense, no, he does not need the dupe whatsoever. In fact, in some rare circumstances, he is actually better on attack unduped. What the dupe does is it gives him a chance to automatically nullify buffs. And if you automatically nullify buffs, you don't nullify it with the Special 2, so you don't get the Incinerate damage. So he can be slightly worse at max sig in certain matchups, but it doesn't really matter. Don't worry about not sigging up your Longshot because of that. It won't make a big difference, I promise you. But no, he definitely does not need to be duped for attack. He does, however, want to be duped for defense. The main defensive mechanic of Longshot is his power gain, because that power gain is what makes it easy for you to push him to a special 2 and get nuked by those incinerates. But if he's unduped, he's not going to be gaining nearly as much power. A lot of the power gain he gets on defense comes from the signature ability when he automatically nullifies any buff you get. This feeds MD, gives him extra power gain. Without that, he isn't that strong of a defender. But a high sig Longshot can be a menace on defense if you catch your opponent without a buff immune champion or a incinerate immune champion. If they have those, they counter him really well and he's easy to fight. But without a buff immune or a incinerate immune, he's a absolute menace on defense. But this is the last fight of the video. In this fight, by the way, our special 2 damage is decreased by 50% and we still pretty much nuke him in a single special 2. So that's kind of crazy. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want part 2 to this Longshot showcase, hey, let's get 420 likes and I'm more than happy to make it. If you enjoyed it though, I'd appreciate it if you drop a like, subscribe if you aren't already. And yeah, that's it from me. Thank you all for watching. See you all in the next video.